Hi everyone, my name is Matthew Poteat. I'm sitting in my garden. I like to spend a lot of time in my garden, as I have over the years, and this year I had planned to spend a lot of time in the garden. Unfortunately, my tomatoes and beans have died. I've had 3 chickens killed by what I think is a raccoon. One of my laying hens has not been able to hatch out chicks. It's so a series of unfortunate events, rather, compounded on what seems to be a very overwhelming year. So as I sit in my garden, my thoughts turn to a book that I often assign to my students. The book is Candide, written by Voltaire. Voltaire, a French writer, an Enlightenment thinker, an essayist, wrote this book in the year 1759. And in it, the main character, Candide, a young boy, finds himself on a series of adventures. And rather than fun, it's a series of disasters, one after another, cruelty after cruelty. And so this year, as we all ponder the year 2020 and the things that are happening, unfortunate things, cruelty, the overwhelming events of this year, my thoughts turn to Candide and the final passage, or the final sentence in the book, where Candide, after all of his adventures, facing all of the disasters one after another, says, "We must go and cultivate our garden." And some translations have that as, "We must go work in the field." And as I ponder those thoughts of cultivation and working in the field, this sentiment predates what many of you may have heard is, "Go and be the change in the world." So as we're faced with these events and being the change in the world, I rather like what Candide says and what Voltaire writes, and that's of cultivating, of working in the field. What does that mean? Well, many writers and thinkers have talked about this, but I take it to mean that we must tend to our garden. We must cultivate and work and prepare and think. Disasters happen, floods, too much rain, too much sun, too much heat, or in my case, poisoning my own plants. But what can we do about it? How can we face these unfortunate circumstances? Well, I think we should cultivate relationships. I think we should encourage people. We should talk to people. We should pick up books. We should think about things that take us out of our comfort zone. If you're a white person, perhaps read books by black authors. Go to places, with a mask, of course. Go to places that maybe you don't know or are uncomfortable with. Talk to people who don't look like you, who don't act like you, and who don't think like you. In other words, cultivate your garden. I think Voltaire would approve.